Not funny.
Hey y'all, welcome to Life on Helton Creek. I'm Mimi, this is Pa.
Hey.
And we're gonna do a little talking about hay season. I know we've been out of pocket, but we've had a lot going on. I lost some footage, I had some health issues. So we're back with an update. And y'all know what time of year it is if you've been here over 5 minutes. It's springtime. It is hay season. Not hay fever, but hay season.
Yeah.
How many rolls did you roll last year? Over 1,000.
Oh, it was
Closer to 2.
closer to 1,500.
He rolls for us. He rolls for others. He rolls for breakdowns.
Yeah.
He rolls for everybody.
Yep.
There's a lot going on in the world, and luckily he pre-purchased some fertilizer. How much?
Yeah. I got enough to do 125 acres. Well, I pre-bought enough to do 120 acres. So the last load of pre-done, I had 19, and I bought 5 more acres worth at market price. So it had gone up $140 a ton from the time I pre-bought it to the time that I was buying it at the time.
But has it gone up much since you bought last year?
It gone up a little, yeah.
But not $100.
No, it probably went up $50-$60 a ton.
And then we got I don't know if you want to call it a tip or a warning, that it was going to go up $100.
Well, it's kind of like last year. You watch current events and everything, and you see certain triggers that kind of throw me in gear. Anytime fuel starts getting volatile, fertilizer starts getting volatile. A lot of urea comes out of the Middle East, so that was about to break out. So I bought it probably first part of March, and then when I was spreading it, it was about 2-3 weeks later, and that's when it had already gone up. And it's probably gone up more than that now.
We were really, really lucky to have bought it when we did. It saved a lot of money.
Yeah, we saved a couple $1,000s, I'm sure.
And a couple of $1,000s is a lot of money.
I bought a little extra fuel before things went nuts and got it for half of what I can buy it for now. So
well, and isn't it limited as to what you can buy now anyway? You can buy it at the higher price, but you can't get as much.
I can't buy it from the vendor that I normally buy it from because the price has gone up and made it kind of. I've been buying clear fuel to go in my farm tank so I can drive it, burn it in my truck, burn it in my tractors, burn it anywhere. And I can buy it as cheap from this vendor as I could dyed fuel, which you can buy off-road fuel or non-highway use, and they put a red dye in it, and you're not supposed to put it in your street vehicles. And it's basically knocking the road taxes off of it. So right now it's $5.50 a gallon at the pump. So it'd probably be $4.60, $4.75 for dyed fuel. I was buying it a little less than dyed fuel, buying clear fuel. And the program's kind of taking a pause while the fuel is so high. So, so I just got to wait until that breaks. But anyway, bought a little fuel early, bought a little fertilizer early. So,
gosh, we were lucky.
Yeah, we were. And we've been mulching a little bit around the edges of the fields and things like that. And I've had to stop doing that because it's expensive to run that mulcher right now. It would be fun to go ahead and play, but it's going to be expensive to play. So
that's very true.
So anyway, we bought our fertilizer a little early. We started spreading it. I was watching the extended maps on the National Weather Service, and they were predicting in March that it would be a warmer than usual April.
And it has
been. And it has been so far. And they predicted it would be a wetter than normal April. And that hasn't panned out. So that's the reason that I applied my fertilizer when I did, is because I was expecting it to be warm and rainy, and that would stimulate the growth where I could get in there and cut it about the end of April, 1st of May.
And we just hadn't had that much
and
rain.
We've not had any rain to say anything. So that untreated urea laid out there for a week or two, so some of it may have volatilized into the atmosphere because I didn't buy the treated. And the treated's, it's probably $60-$70 more a ton to have the Nutrisphere put on it. The
Costs a lot
treatment.
to look good and go fast.
It does, and
Everything
and
in farm
that's
is.
insurance, but it's usually temperature driven. So it has been cooler,
Right.
so I probably didn't lose as much as I'm afraid I did, because it's the warm weather, the hot 85 degrees is when that stuff's going to evaporate.
Right.
So got a few fields that I need to spray because they're new fields and they've been being pastured and they've probably got some junk in them. I need to go around the edges of my good fields and spray the hemlock. And honestly, I got about 30 some odd more acres to fertilize. I'm going to be a little more critical
A little more particular.
when I put it down. I'm gonna see some imminent rain coming in at the time. So
We actually had such a mild winter that we still have a little bit of hay we could sell.
oh gosh, I got probably 75, 80 bales in this barn, and I had 120 at James's.
And usually we sell out. Usually they're trying to buy what we've got for our cows before winter's over.
Yeah.
And this year, we just had a really, really mild winter.
We get it sprayed and get the fertilizer finished, then it's wait till it gets
Mother's Day.
or sooner if we can,
Or sooner.
and start mowing it.
He also bought another new toy.
Well, I picked up some additional acreage in the hay arena, and so I wanted to run 3 mowers this year. And I've got 3 mowers, but one of them's got a gearbox that's busted on it. It's about $2,700 to fix the gearbox, to replace the gearbox. So I was going to do that, and I got a neighbor that going out of business, and he's got an older one. Then I thought about buying his and everything, and then this little rig here popped up, and it was the right machine and the right price. So I pulled the trigger on it.
And in your defense, we always have some that could really use this type of machine.
Yeah. So we bought a disc mower conditioner, and so and it's a tine conditioner, and it'll help with the big Johnson grass in the fall of the year. So it'll bust it up.
It'll bust the stalk, the stem,
Yeah. So
not the stalk.
help it cure out, be a little more palatable. But I also think that we're going to try to just go ahead and cut 3 times this year and be done with it, instead of doing it twice.
Instead of waiting.
Yeah. That way
So let's show them how it
it
works.
won't be as big.
So they make what?
They make one with rubber rolls in it, and they suck the hay through like an old wringer washer. So it's got 2 rollers that
Now,
mash it.
I know about that because right after we got married, you were running the mower conditioner at our farm in our hay
An old
field,
one, yeah.
and it got jammed up with Johnson grass, and you went to pull it out, and you pulled out a big old bumblebee,
Yeah.
or 2 or 3, and they got him.
They stung me right on top of the middle finger. I was allergic back then.
Oh, we were newlyweds.
Yeah.
Now, not that we hadn't been together 100 years, but we were brand new married on our brand new farm, and he got the snot stung out of him, and his arm swelled up.
To the shoulder.
And back then, you could call the emergency room, and they would tell you what to do, back in the good old days. And she said, well, honey, if it gets to his shoulder, bring him on in.
Yeah.
And it got right there. I mean, just right at never did get in the shoulder, thank goodness. But I tried my best to take him anyway, because I panicked.
So now I'm going to have 3 machines in the field cutting.
And I'm going to be running one of them.
So
Maybe.
And the thing about this one, this is a Vicon 932T.
A Vicon 932T. I see Vicon, but I don't see a...
It says it on that curtain.
Oh,
that-
okay.
That I've got taken off right now while I'm changing the blades. Kubota bought Vicon out, so all of Kubota's hay tools are actually Vicon hay tools. So a lot of the parts that are on my Kubota hay mowers are interchangeable with this. So it's 10.5-foot cut, and I've got one 10.5-foot disc mower on a caddy, and it pulls around pretty easy, but they tell me that I got to have 100 horsepower to pull this one, and so that's the reason I got it hooked up to the baler tractor. I don't know if the little Kubota will pull it or not. It might.
We're gonna have to see when we get in the field.
It might. I might put that 90 horse Kubota on it.
So we're ready to mow some hay.
Just waiting for hay to grow and sun to shine.
We do need some sun.
Got a new tatter. So
oh, that's right. Where is it?
It's over at James's.
Oh, it's over in the barn. Got a new tatter. Won't be breaking down for that anymore this year.
No.
I won't be having to go get him and bring him parts. And
it's a fancy rig. So that's going to kind of complement this thing, because this thing, when it mows and goes through those conditioning tines, it goes through these diverter shields and kind of puts it in a pile. Then we'll go along and bust the pile up with the tatter.
So I might actually get some quality time in the hayfield this year. You just got to get me one of them steering wheel thingies.
I had one on it.
I love it. I love working in hay. Not just because I get to hang out with him, but I just enjoy it. It's almost time to bring Mick home. A couple more weeks.
About 3 more weeks.
Oh, what's coming up in a few weeks, Pa?
It's cattle working.
What's coming up in a few weeks, Pa?
How do we mark our cattle working? Let me think.
How do we mark our cattle working? Is that what you said?
How do we schedule it? We schedule it so it coincides with our wedding anniversary, so I don't forget it. Either one of them.
You're such a punk.
Our vet knows our wedding anniversary.
Yeah, our vet knows our anniversary.
It's the week that we work cows.
We will be married. How many years?
40.
40 years. On the 26th of this month. 40 long, agonizing. Now, tell them what you always say. How long you been married, Kent?
I've been happily married for 32 years. Been married for 40 altogether, but 32 of them were happy.
Well, now that number's increased. Yeah. I appreciate that.
Well, it moves up.
It used to be happily married for way less than half.
Yeah, 7 years, something like that.
40 years. And I married him with no running water in the house.
Yeah.
So that ought to...
I tell them what I normally say.
Which part?
What do I normally say when I talk about being married?
You gotta stay married because it ain't worth half your stuff.
That's it. It's not worth half my stuff.
Ain't he a romantic, y'all? He's the most romantic fella I've ever met in my life. And believe it or not, he's a lot better now than he used to be. He's like a fine wine. He gets better with age. Or to find something or another.
Find something.
I don't know. Yeah, 40 years.
Some might think I'm turning to vinegar instead of...
Well, that could have a little truth to it as well. At this point, it really ain't worth half your stuff. Because you got a lot more stuff now than...
a lot of stuff. Yep.
How funny.
Raring to go. Can't go for raring.
Can't go.
Well, I'm trying the new disc mine out, helping a neighbor out. He's got some wet hay that he's over here mowing pretty close. And I said, well, I'd give you a hand and see how my little machine does. And so he said, well, bring it on. So that's what we're doing. It seems to be cutting pretty good for now. I might be a little lower than on the cut height than he's cutting, but I'll have to do some adjusting before too long. But it's a good test run before I get into the meat and potatoes of our season. So I'll try to get a little footage of the machine.
So there's just a lot going on. It's springtime around the farm. There's stuff going on everywhere. I appreciate y'all hanging out with us, and I appreciate you being patient with me, being missing in action. Y'all remember, you're never alone. Be blessed. See you next time.